concentration camp for doing so. Had that brave action made her who she was? What made Corrie Corrie? What had her early years been like? As I approached Haarlem, the St. Bavo Cathedral dominated the skyline and looked sedately down on the centuries-old busy little city. This was the town in which Corrie had grown up, in the happy home of watchmaker Caspar ten Boom, his wife Cor, Corrie's two sisters, Betsy and Norlie, and a brother Willem. She had been born in Amsterdam on April 15, 1892, and could trace her family tree through at least 8 generations to 1647, when Jan ten Boom lived at Ruurlo. In 1844, an event took place that was most unusual for its time. Corrie's grandfather, Willem ten Boom, started a prayer meeting for Jewish people. Tante Corrie often referred to it as a not-to-be-understood answer to my family's prayers for the Jews, for exactly 100 years later, God allowed my whole family to be arrested for their part in saving Jewish people during the Second World War. Her relationship with the God of her forefathers began at an early age. I had often heard her refer to it. At 5 years of age, I asked the Lord Jesus to come into my heart, she said. And he came. And he has never let me down. I had now passed the city limits. Traffic was becoming thicker, and I had to negotiate the busy streets of Haarlem carefully. Just a few yards from where I was driving, but out of sight, was the Barteljestraat. It was to this street, near the cathedral, that the ten Boom family moved from Amsterdam. Their home was called the Beje, for short, the name consisting of the initial letters of Bartel Joris, Joris being a 14th century inhabitant of the town of Haarlem. The Beje was small, and throughout Corrie's childhood was full of people. The 6 family members and 3 aunts, sisters of her mother Cor. It was, as Tante Corrie described it, full of colour, warmth, music and laughter, and Mother ten Boom always had room for guests at her table. The home had a solid spiritual foundation. The Bible was read daily. The favourite Dutch national pastime is talking, and there was lots of communication and close family unity in the Beje. Corrie constantly looked for ways to share the love and sense of belonging with which she grew up. As a young woman, she started several clubs, including a Christian Girl Scout movement called the Triangle Girls, and clubs for the mentally retarded. Had her extraordinarily supportive family background, with its many generations of good Dutch reformed stock, made Corrie ten Boom the woman she was? Corrie's mother died when Corrie was still in her 20s, her brother Willem and sister Norlie married, and after the demise of the 3 aunts, only Caspar ten Boom, Betsy and Corrie were left, in the Beje when war broke out. Though they were already middle-aged and older, Corrie, her sister and father had certainly not been afraid to take the consequences of their convictions when war came. On February 28, 1944, all the ten Booms were betrayed by a fellow Dutchman who knew they were hiding Jews in the Beje and were taken to the Haarlem police station. From that place began a horrifying journey. They were transferred to prison in Scheveningen, Holland, where Corrie saw her father for the last time. He passed away after 10 days of imprisonment. Most of the family was released, but Kik, Willem's son, died in concentration camp in Germany in his early 20s, and Willem died at the age of 60 in 1946 as a result of an illness contracted in prison. Corrie and Betsy were sent first to a concentration camp at Vught, Holland, then to the dreaded Ravensbrück concentration camp in Germany, which Corrie called the deepest hell that man can create. Betsy died there on Christmas, 1944, at age 59. In Ravensbrück, Corrie and Betsy took every opportunity to tell the women prisoners about the love of God. They had been able to smuggle a Bible into the camp with them and held daily Bible studies. I had heard Corrie say that imprinted on her mind was a picture of her sister Betsy sitting in the filthy barracks, surrounded by prisoners, reading to them from the Bible. As she read, a shaft of light from the window fell on Betsy, and Corrie said that it was like a painting by Rembrandt. Frail, older than Corrie by 7 years,